Okay, hey everybody, thank you for coming. Appreciate you taking time to visit with us today. I think I know most of you. My name is Jim Wonderman. I'm the president and CEO of the Bay Area Council. We're here to talk about education. A lot of times when you're in the state of California, and I guess I could sit down, when you have a budget situation like we do and there's a deadline for passing the budget, the talk tends to turn to that at this time of year, and there's a lot of focus on that. And if we could just fix the budget, then we can get the state going again, and if we could fix the budget, we could fix the education system. But I tend to look at it a little bit differently. I think that the education system is actually the driver of the train, and that the key to fixing the state of California, or any state, is education and fixing that system. Jerry's been a superintendent for a long time in this particular district for 11 years. I'm not going to take you through his entire biography because that would take up
I'll cut you off.
The whole meeting, so we don't want that.
My colleagues.
But and I should say, around the table, we've got superintendents from around the table, very, very distinguished people. We've got state officials around the table, very, very distinguished people, who are all doing a good job and trying hard against amazing odds to create an education system here in the state. Jerry asked me before the meeting, what do you want me to do here? And I said, look, based on what we saw, and we're a business group, so we're a very results-oriented group. We'd like to think that the system that you have in Montgomery County could be adopted or adapted as a system that we have here in California. We're very pleased to have Jerry Weast with us today. Tell us what you did and how you did it, and how we can work with you to get things done.
Just a little bit for me. I grew up on a little dirt farm and had an outdoor toilet and no running water. So I kind of got to know my audience so I can get comfortable, okay? So you can get. I mean, y'all go to college? Did you all go to college? How many of you got kids? Personal kids. Okay. How many of you want your kids to go to college? All right, well then I'm at the right crowd. Because that's what I want for the state of California. We're graduating from college about the same percentage of the kids we did in 1960s, and it's less than 30%. And if you take a look at the Latino population, is that the population's growing a lot in California? Well, it is in the country too, right? Number one. They've got about less than 10% get out of college. And if you take a look at that, there's something wrong when you look at Latino and African American. I will talk a lot about race, because I think it's one of the issues that has to be addressed. If you want kids to go to college, they have to be college prepared. If you think that you're going to do that in high school, it isn't going to happen. High school is just a segment of what you're going to do. It's 720 days. 720 days. If you think about it, what time have they got to really do anything? And so, 11 years ago, I'd had 23 years of experience as a superintendent. 11 years ago, I had just finished a 6th year of merging a school district in North Carolina, where we had 3 school districts and made 1 out of them. If you don't think that was fun. And it was all about black and white. It was all about rich and poor. And I had 3 central offices. I had to blow the whole thing up. And they fought it until June 30th. And I had to take over July 1 and get school open August 14th. And I had 1 secretary myself. Crosses burning, snakes in the mailbox, hung in effigy. It was not a pleasant sight. And I was the outsider. And I learned quite a bit from that. And I learned something from the Durham merger. I was the front end of the Durham merger there, Durham County. Worked out in the West in Montana with Native Americans. And they were the non-landed Native Americans. So I kind of got a sense from all those experiences about the great sorting mechanism we have in the public schools. And they are actually built to sort. And they work really well for us white males. That's what they were kind of designed to do. And when you have a sorting mechanism and you really take a look at it, and you're going to have to correct it, you got to look at where the two main problems are. Well, one, the schools aren't working for the kids, because only about a third of them are prepared when you get them out. Half of certain populations don't even get out. And out of the ones that are prepared, graduate, only 2/3 of them can't get into college and do successful college work. So it's not working for them. Then the other group who inhabit the building is the teachers. Now, depending on where you're at, half or more of them walk out in 5 years. In some places where there's good retention, it's less than that. But in the poverty schools, you don't have to reconstitute them; they reconstitute themselves. You got to hold them in. And my colleagues and I have been having to deal with that. And the sorting system is reinforced with measurements that are standardized tests that reinforce the sorting. So the question is, how do you undo that? Well, you're going to have time, and I'll be talking about it. You can't be changing superintendents like you change, different things. You got to change those. You got to lengthen that tenure and get one and stick with it. And you got to have a plan, and you got to start early. You are not going to get there in the 4 years of high school. This all starts way down here at birth. Now, you at least got to start working with poor kids, 3 and 4. Okay? So would you like to see the show?
Roll.
Okay.